Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. If this is your first time visiting me, I would like to thank you. While you're here, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. By taking this action, you will be helping the channel to grow. Also, take a moment to read my About page so that you can have some understanding about who I am. I will never copy another person's work, nor will I ever copy another person's title. That is because I am authentically me. This work is a part of my bloodline. I thank you for visiting, and I hope that you will return. Please check out my other videos. All are welcome to share his or her story in the comment section below, because your story may be a helpmate to someone else. My channel is a no judgment zone place for healing in some sort of way. If my video does not resonate with you, please do not try to make it fit your circumstances at all. For anyone else and everyone else that the message does make sense to, take from it what will help you on your journey towards your happiness in every area of your life. Once again, I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. This channel is all about healing. So let's begin healing together. Excuse me, I had to fix my necklace. Let's begin healing together. I hope everyone is doing well. And I'm not going to be on here long tonight. I just jumped on because I wanted to speak about this supermoon. And it's a cold supermoon. Depending on where you live, it's a cold supermoon. And I hope you take advantage of this moon's energy, because we're going into 2026 really soon, right? Within a few weeks, we'll be into 2026, and a lot of things are going to be changing for a lot of people who use their energies. Each and every one of us, no matter what your sign is, you have a moon in your sign. Water signs are closer to the moon energy, but it doesn't mean that each and every person can't use the moon energy, because we can and we should. We all should use the magic of this energy. Forget about what anyone has told you about the moon being dark, right? And listen, I'm 52 years old, so when I was growing up, people will tell you the craziest story of how people will go outside and howl at the moon, ooh, ooh, right? And guess what? Or people will go crazy under the moon. The moon has some really supernatural energies, but it's how you use them. And each and every one of us has moon in our zodiac chart. And we should all understand the meaning of that moon energy. And so for the different phases of the moon, I've been putting out videos and videos and videos for each person to get in touch with their moon energy. I don't care what religion you are. It's not about that. It's about who you are and the magic that you hold within you. So this is resetting. You're starting to reset, because when you go into 2026, what are half of you going to do? My New Year's resolution is to lose weight. My New Year's resolution is to stop hoeing, to get off drugs, to stop smoking. A lot of you make these frivolous promises that most of you never keep. So do something different. Use the magic of this cold moon energy to start fulfilling the things that you desire to have for yourself. I was just on the phone with my daughter a few moments ago, and I was going over her sign and telling her about her moon energy, which her moon energy was beautiful because she can stand up and take a bow. She can give herself a pat on the back, right? Because her round of reflection is just about her being grateful. which is each and every one of us should be grateful for where we are. And if you're not where you want to be, then you can do something about it. You can use this energy to change your circumstances because we are the authors of our own story. And with us being the author of our own story, we get to change our circumstances in a wonderful way. So, most of you know how to use your moon magic. And if you're new here, then guess what? Let's discuss it. And most of you who know me, you know that I always put the camera down before I start going into my spill about what I'm going to do, what I'm going to talk about. I don't have any candles lit up tonight because we're not doing a tarot reading. We're simply discussing the signs. The signs, Aries. We're going to start with you. I have to go over Capricorn again. I just did Capricorn for someone. I just went over Scorpio for another person. But this energy, and excuse me, I have to cleanse my space, is all about closure. You closing the door to something, closing the door to someone. You may need to close the door to many people and not, excuse me, I dropped that. And you may not want to open those doors again. Listen, when I close the door to someone, depending on who it is, I don't open it back. But if it's my kids, because my children do get on my nerves, let me tell you, my kids get on my nerves. My goodness. And I probably got on my mother's nerves too. There's no probably. I definitely got on my mother's nerves, right? But closure. Some of you may be having closure with a person or many people's. What does that say? Swamp Hoochie. Hello, Swamp Hoochie. Toot toot. But not only are you closing the door to people, you may be closing the door to a situation. You may be closing the door to a job, going into another job situation. You may be closing the door to a place where you live and opening a new door to a new home, a new residence, a new state, a new town, a county, whatever the place may be for you. But closure, you're letting go tonight. Let go. Let go of the things that no longer serve you, the things that no longer fit in your life. Close the door to those things. Me, I don't tolerate disrespect at all. At all. I don't care who it is. I don't care how old or young you are. I don't tolerate disrespect because I'm not the type of person that disrespects anyone at all. I don't disrespect, not unless you bring me the disrespect, I'll finish it for you. People love to play victim, right? People bring you their mess, and then when you handle it in the way that you handle it, then they get offended. But guess what? You have to close the door to the nonsense. Closing the door to BS, closing the door to gossip. Closure, step number one. Rule number one, because this cold supermoon is all about you going into a new world. A new world of not being where you once were. So you're letting go of the past situations, whether it be from childhood, closing the door to the things that you can no longer change. We can't change the past. All we can do is accept what transpired, and we have to really think about what we can do to rebuild who we are. What can be done? We have to be able to rebuild, regenerate, renew to a new glory for ourselves, right? So we have reflection. Some of you, before you go into this new chapter of your life, you're going to reflect on who hurt you, who lied on you, who cheated on you, who gave you a spanking when you feel like you didn't deserve to have a spanking. You're going to do a lot of reflections, right? Then you're going to have mental clarity about it. You know, a lot of times people blame themselves for things that they shouldn't be blaming themselves for. Like, oh my goodness, John cheated on me. But maybe it was my fault because I gained some weight, and he did say he don't like big girls. That has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. That's John. Those are his feelings. That means John wasn't with you for you. That simply means John didn't want you for you. Because if John really truly wanted you for you, it wouldn't matter if you gained 5 pounds, 20 to 50. If he loved you, those loves comes without conditions. That means it was not unconditional. So you're going to do a lot of mental clarity, cleaning out the clutter. And some of you may need to clean out the clutter in your homes and your closet and get rid of that shit that you haven't worn in about a year or 2 and possibly 3, because memories are right here. They're right here. Memories are stored right here in the dome. And so a lot of times we need to just start cleaning house to make room for new things. So if your moon is in Aries, right? Let me just say this. Aries is a fire sign, and they are ruled by the planet Mars. Now, we all know about Mars. A lot of you may say different things about Mars, but we all know about Mars. And Mars is the god of war, that chaos. Mars knows how to use these. They with the shits, right? Mars is with the shit. So expect fiery tempers, Aries. Short fuses and a tendency towards confrontation when this moon sign is in play. So you may become confrontational with another individual or many people. Be careful not to let things get too out of hand. You know, this is a great time to stand up for yourself and make your feelings known to a particular person or peoples. And as an Aries energy that surrounds you and helps you to feel strong and bold, take care not to let this tip over into a feeling of feeling invisible. Because I'm speaking to an Aries that has felt invisible to many people, not just family, but to friends as well. Or you can find yourself out of depth. So yes, you will be getting into an argument or a few different arguments with people or a particular person, but don't let it get out of hand. You are not invisible. Let me tell you, Aries, you are not invisible. If someone doesn't see you, fuck them. I see you. I see you. Moon and Aries, I see you. So get ready, because yes, you're going to be having a few confrontations with a person or many people. Control that mouth, because your moon is in Aries, and guess what happens? You can argue with the best of them, and you can hurt some feelings. You can make people cry because you're like, this is how you make me feel. And even though I'm not dropping those tears, I'm going to make you drop them. You feel like people have walked all over you. You feel like people have made you feel invisible, but you're not invisible. They see you. But right now, with this energy, you're going to make sure they see you. But be careful not to have such a strong argument to whereas there may not be any coming back for it. You know how a person, and I know I have the worst analogies. Let's just say if you were in an abusive relationship and your person hits you and you like, fuck that, I'm leaving. But then your person says, I'll never do it again. Okay, so things may be looking good. A month or 2 down the line, they hit you again and you like, wait a minute, bitch. You put your hands on me again? And they're like, oh shit. This time, Aries, you may be packing. You're like, I'm leaving. Fuck that. You don't get to put your hands on me for a 3rd time, because now we're into 2 times. Now, they go for like 6 months and you like, ooh, we're out the clear. They got a handle on their temper. All right, guess what? They do it again. Now we know there's no turning back. There's no turning back. You're like, fuck that. I'm not staying in this abusive relationship. I'm out. But then the abuser may say, this is how we get down. This is what we do. And you're like, I don't do shit like that. I'm not a personal punching bag. You don't get to put your hands on me. So with you, let's flip the script back to you. Be careful, because your mouth can be very abusive to a person or too many. And you may have had an argument with this person before, but if you don't control that anger, you may not be able to go back. So just be careful with this energy that you don't create a wound that won't heal. That's all I'm saying, Aries. That you don't create a wound that cannot be healed, no matter how much peroxide and alcohol and band-aids that you may try to put on it. So the new moon, use the bold energy of this Aries new moon to put your own needs first and to take time out for yourself, because you may need a time out before you explode. The full moon, when the full moon is in Aries, keep your eyes peeled for new opportunities that are coming your way, and be sure to make the most of them. So there's going to be opportunities that will be coming your way. Make the most out of them, Aries. So if your moon is in Taurus, right? So let's just say you're a Taurus, because now we're jumping into my Taurus people. The earth sign of Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, the goddess of love and beauty. So this moon sign influences people to take better care of themselves with self-love rituals and pampering yourself, like taking yourself out to go and get a massage, going to get a facial, whatever feels good to you for you to pamper yourself. It can even lead you towards a new relationship if you're not already in one. You are the shining light, shining a light upon a new love interest, or deepening the bond between a long-term person that you've been with. However, Taurus, let me just say this. Taurus also has a no-nonsense approach to life. So your very practical expressions of affection are more likely during this time rather than those big romantic gestures. And your person may not understand why you have calmed down on giving them the roses, giving them the box of chocolates. In this moon energy, you're going to take the practical approach of not giving those flamboyant gifts. You're going to be saving a little more. So just say to your person, hey, I'm saving, I'm scaling back, and I'm going to show you my love with my energy. With my energy, plain and simple. So this is a time for slowing down. So don't be surprised if circumstances forces you into a slower pace of life for a short period of time. So use this time to pamper yourself, and pampering yourself will recharge you, Aries. Now, with this full moon, this Taurus energy is all about stability. So use the influence to increase your levels of overall security. Be this financial person, that person that wants to save for the rainy day. So remember that building a sense of security around yourself is also a form of self-care. And take responsibility for your personal safety around home security. And your home security, Aries, is your bank account. So you may not be able to buy those lavish gifts, those dozen of roses like you once gave, those box of chocolates, or whatever kind of gifts that you give to that person. Save that money, because you never know when an unexpected bill may appear. So if you're a Gemini, let's speak about your moon. If your moon is in Gemini, you know, the air sign of Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, as we all know, the god of communication. And this sign is certainly known for its flamboyant energies. Leo has those flamboyant energies as well. Let me just tell you. So when the moon is in Gemini, it is basically calling you out to play, filling your calendar with events and nights out. So you know there's a Brandy and Monica concert that's circulating all around. Try to get some tickets to that. I heard it's pretty good because listen, Brandy and Monica together, when I was growing up, these two wouldn't even be in the same room with each other, right? Not unless somebody got bopped, but that's a whole nother story. Look it up. But there's some concerts going on. It's time for you, Gemini, to get out and play. You've been working hard. You've been in the house. So it's time for you to use this energy to get out and play. This energy is calling you out to play. And it's time for you to fill up your calendar with events and nights out for yourself. This moon sign is the party going influencer, and the energies at work right now tend to make people feel adventurous and generally more playful. So it's time for you to get out and have some fun. So time to make plans with friends, with co-workers, with family members, collaborate with colleagues on a big project, or set up a new website. Communication is the key for you at this time. However, with this full moon, use this moon to do some networking and expand your circle of friends. Sometimes the friends that we have don't help us to grow. And so we need to expand our circle of friends, people that are on the same level as we are. Sometimes we have friends that we grew up with. And sometimes the friends that we grew up with are friends that we need to let go of. However, if we don't want to let them go, if we don't want to close the door to them, then we may just leave them where they are. And with leaving them where they are, it just gives you more of an energy to communicate with people that are like you. So get out there and network, communicate with others so you can find your true soul tribe. Now, if you're a Cancer, because I'm a Cancer, so if you have moon in Cancer, the water sign of a Cancer is ruled by the moon itself, giving a double whammy of lunar energies and a heightened emotion during this moon sign. Emotions tend to run high under this influence. So don't be surprised if you feel hypersensitive or a little tearful at this time. Just as the water of the tides, which ebbs and flows, let me just say, which ebbs and flows. Y'all know in my reading, I always tell you, what goes out comes in, and what comes in has to go out. That's like karma, right? Karma. Whatever you put out, you get back. And whatever you get back, you put back out. But I see you, that big Cancer energy, that's me. Let me just say, so just remember, you're going to be going through a lot of emotions at this time. So this Cancerian energy is known for hiding their emotions under their hard shell. But when the moon is in Cancer, you can expect all of those hidden, repressed emotions to come to the forefront, no longer holding back. If you have something to say, you're going to say it. You're going to get it off your chest. If you've been reflecting about things from the past, you're going to get that off your chest with someone you trust. It has to be with someone you trust that you're going to be sharing things that happened to you from the past. So this is a good time to retreat into your shell and spend some time in hibernation away from the hustle and bustle of life and of people around you. So go within and reflect on the emotions this moon sign has brought up for you, Cancer. You're going to be thinking about the past, childhood. You're going to be going so deep that things may make you tingle on the inside, but understand we can't change what transpired in the past. All we can do is move forward. So Understand that a hard shell doesn't only protect you from the hard nights of life. You know, like Annie said, you remember she was raised by Daddy Warbucks in the end, right? And Jay-Z mimicked one of his songs off of it. It's a hard not life for us. Annie started off in unpleasantries in a group home, wasn't treated so well, wishing to get adopted by someone, and then all of a sudden, she's thrusted off into a millionaire's home, Daddy Warbucks, right? So, yes, the past can bring up some hard emotions. And we know for some cancers, life has been hard. Many cancers weren't given the greatest of starts, but it doesn't mean that your end has to be the same way. Remember, I told you, you are the author of your own story. So use this moon energy to go out and grant yourself the closure that's needed. Close the door on the past. I know you're going to reflect on the pain, but you're also going to reflect on the things that made you smile, made you laugh, and even made you cry. But then you're going to have mental clarity as to why those situations happen. And understand you come with this hard shell. And sometimes the strongest of people go through the most hurt. And I know no one likes to hear that. And it took me a long time to understand that even for myself. But honey, I'm a soldier. Let me tell you, I'm a soldier in my own army, and I'm always going to be the victor. I'm always going to be victorious, because as these other signs that I said to you that had Mars in their chart, let me tell you, I run with them all. I'm always the person that's lifting someone, but I'll also crush you. I will also crush you if you try to hurt me. When you're younger, there's not much you can do to protect yourself but go into your shell. Yes, Cancers, you're going to go into your shell. You're going to have hibernation. That's that reflection, but it's going to bring you clarity. So once again, understand that a hard shell doesn't only protect you from the hard knocks of life, it can also be a barrier to all the good things too. The good things that you can start making your list and saying, this is what I want for myself right now and my future self. So use this time to learn how to be vulnerable, but in a safe way. Perhaps with a therapist or a trusted friend. Someone that you trust, that you can open up to and explore with your inner landscapes to say, this is what happened to me. And sometimes if you don't have those kind of people or that kind of person around you, you know what else you can do? You can go outside tonight and speak to the moon privately, and therefore leave it there under the cover of the moon. Now, the fire sign of a Leo is ruled by the sun. And I always say that the sun is the kiss of the moon, right? Making this another flamboyant sign. So unlike the party atmosphere of a Gemini moon, however, a Leo moon uses this flamboyant for furthering ambitions and for getting noticed for all the right reasons, both professionally and personally. So this moon sign influences you, Leo, will make you shine even brighter than you already are. We know that you are a star, Leo. You get all the attention from males and females alike anywhere you go, but use this energy in a more creative way when it comes to your professional life, when it comes to your job. The Leo moon brings out that leadership in who you are, and all of us, to be honest with you. So you might be called upon to take charge in a situation or to speak somewhere, to give a presentation, because the lion likes to shake things up, but the lion also likes to shake his or her golden mane for all to see. So you're going to be thrusted in the spotlight. This is a good time to start fleshing out your ambitions and mapping out a path to achieve your objectives. So do you need to apply for a course, or do you want a promotion? Those things you need to think about when you use the energy of this moon tonight. So be bold and follow your heart, follow your soul, follow your gut. What sparks the joy in your life, what gets you fired up, what you are enthusiastic about. Use this phase to attack and act on these spiritual prompts and follow your bliss. Use this energy tonight. I always come out and I always speak about the moon energies. It's important to me. It may not be important to you guys, but when I know something, I'm not one of those people that like to keep quiet about it. I try to share as much as I can so that you can work on self. And a lot of people, they stay down in the rut in different situations because they don't know how to climb themselves out of it, or they don't think that they can. And sometimes people, they feel like, well, if I had this amount of money, then I would be better off. But it's not if I have, it's that I have. Anything you want, you have to see yourself with it at this particular time. So you never look at yourself as not having. You never look at yourself as being broke. You don't even look at yourself as being single if you're not in a relationship. You look at yourself with the type of person that you want to be with. You look at yourself with already having that money in your possession. It's called the imagination. And many of us forget how to use their imagination, because the imagination is powerful. And that's what's called the power of the subconscious mind. So whatever you think will be brought to you. Will be brought to you. I went over so many times speaking to you about when I had $5 in my bank account and I was able to get approved for a mortgage. True story, with fucked up credit. Now, that was many moons ago. We got this cold super moon tonight. So many moons ago, I said that I will, I can, and I have, and I damn sure did that. So I'm just showing you how to do that for you. I'm showing you how to make it easy. I'm showing you how to make it easy. So when, let's just say in my wallet doesn't have a dollar bill in it because I rarely carry cash. But when I open my wallet, I don't see an empty wallet. You know what I see? I see me with about 40,000 cash, right? That better be a big wallet. I see about 40,000 cash in my purse, 20,000 in my wallet, and 20,000 at the bottom of my purse, and the rest is in my bank account. You understand what I'm saying? So I never see my purse as being empty. Even a person with a glass, I never look at my glass as being half full or half empty. I always see my cup overflowing. When I tell you I make it in life because of what my mother taught me to do. My mother purchased a home, single parent, a house in the 70s, a woman of color with 3 daughters on her own. Yes, she was married to my father, but he left. She put him out though. She told him he had to go. She said, I could do bad by myself. And being that he couldn't bring anything to the table, she said, I'd rather eat with my daughters by myself so we can grow together. So she made my dad go. And when he left, he went hoeing around. Sometimes you guys will see my little sister up here. I shout her out. She's a part of my father's infidelities, right? Guess what? You can still create the life that you desire. With my dad, they lived in an apartment. When she put my dad out, she purchased a house. She purchased a house in the 70s. A woman of color. She purchased her home. So one day, I said, I want me a house. Even though I knew I had only $5 in my bank account, I never looked at that number. I looked at it as I can, I will, and I am. And I did. So it's called the power of the subconscious mind. If you can imagine it, you can create it. So for my Virgos, you know I love you. The earth sign of Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury. You know, this is the god of communication. Everybody loves to go to the Virgo for advice. Virgo, my boyfriend just broke up with me. My girlfriend just left me. Virgo, my water bill needs to be paid. My electric bill needs to be paid. Everybody goes to the Virgo. So, you know, the energy will keep you busy for months if you let it. Virgos, this is your time to stop allowing people to continuously make you busy. You know, you have that hustle culture that's inside of you. You are always trying to be the bigger person for everyone. This energy is telling you to pay attention to self, because when it's all said and done, what has Virgo really done for themselves? Besides giving to their families, their friends, their co-workers, people that they do care about. Virgo is the person that's always extending the hand. So with this energy, they just want you to reflect. So be aware of taking on too much at this time. Stick to one or two things that you know you can get done at a high standard and still have free time to decompress, to get back to yourself. So be aware of becoming too critical, both of yourself and others. Because although you will give to as many people as you can, you do judge yourself by overgiving. So this is the time when you, the Virgo, that's the perfectionist, can go into overdrive. This is a great time for you to have that boost of motivation for yourself, as it will drive you to achieve the things that you desire to have for you. It's time for you to give back to you. I know a few Virgos personally that are just like this. So Virgos, when I post this up, take a look, because guess what? Feeling guilty when you can't give as much as you want to give, but then you feel bad about giving as much as you did because you didn't have it like that to give. So you're always in two minds. Like, damn, I don't have it like that, but if I don't, then they won't have it like that. But if I do, then my bill may go unpaid. But if I don't, they may be getting kicked out or have an eviction. So you're playing devil's advocate with yourself. And sometimes you overgive. And you need to give all of that back to you, Virgo. So my Libras, love you Libras, right? The air sign of Libra is ruled by the planet Venus, the goddess of love. Yes, let me tell you. So when this moon sign is in charge, you might be tempted to try and bring more balance into your life, perhaps by prioritizing love and family over your career, for instance. Because let me listen, I said Virgos, Libras, you work hard. You work hard because you're like, okay, I want to buy my mom something. I want to help her have the things that she's never had. Oh, let me help my brother. Let me help my sister. Let me help my children. Let me go ahead and help my neighbor and everybody else, right? Guess what? Then you have indecisions on who you're going to help first. However, a classic Libra trait is that of indecisions. You know, you can't seem to choose between two or more options, often preferring to have their cake and eating it too, which can lead to fractions and fractures in relationships and eventual isolation. So just be careful. You have this need to overthink things. And this is one of your worst traits. And, I don't like to say this to you because Libras, you enjoy balance, but you need to balance you. So practice your decision-making skills. If you can hone this vital life skill, you will naturally bring about more balance because you will no longer be torn between several options. Plus, you'll feel more in control as the decision will not be made for you by circumstances. So seek forgiveness from those who might have been hurt by your indecisiveness in the past and set the scales of justice right now. Whether it be in love triangles, whether it be with family, if they ask you for 100, but you only had 75 to give them, listen, apologize by saying, listen, I apologize for giving as much as I have given to you and not keeping what I needed for myself. It's time for you to allow closure to come on in. Reflect on the past, all these indecisions that you have on robbing Peter to pay Paul. And sometimes you didn't even have to rob Peter to pay Paul, but you just gave and gave and gave until it burnt you out. Now you have mental clarity. And so you say to everyone that you've given something to and that has never given anything back to you, say, damn it, I forgive you. I forgive you. For me allowing you to burn me out. And now I'm back in balance with myself. So if your moon is in Scorpio, my cousin, the water sign, Scorpio is ruled by the planets Pluto and Mars, bringing influences of death and rebirth from Pluto and also war and conflict from Mars. Now, do you guys know a double Scorpio? I know a double Scorpio. Hello. I know a person that has Scorpio as their sun and Scorpio as their moon. Let me tell you. And this person always has to work on balancing themselves out. But this is a heady, potent mix, meaning that when the moon is in Scorpio, tensions can run high and intense emotions are frequently in play. So this moon energy can lead to crises, reflecting on the deeper meaning of life, death, afterlife, and the overall meaning of your own personal existence. And value is common at this time. The value of you. You are valuable. You are expensive, Scorpio. You are expensive. You are that valuable that you are so expensive because I'm speaking to a Scorpio that is the phoenix that rises from the ashes. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every sign would like to say that they are the phoenix that rises from the ashes, and that's not so. You may have dealt with the situation that you have risen out of the depths of hell, but let me tell you about the Scorpio. They have fallen and gotten back up more times than anyone can count on their toes, their fingers, and somebody else's toes and fingers, and so on. A Scorpio moon is intense, they're brutal, they're seductive, overwhelming, enticing, and they're very obsessive. So, once again, the phoenix that rises from the ashes, that's death. That's the afterlife. And the overall meaning of your personal existence. See, Scorpio, they know who they are, but then they don't know who they are. But then they know who they are, then they don't know who they are. And then guess what happens? When they find out who they are, they become expensive. They become very expensive. And when something is expensive and some people can't afford it, you ever saw window shoppers? You can look, but you can't touch. So this is a time to live in the moment, Scorpio, to live with passion. Allow life to seduce you. Be bold, be sexy, and use your charms. Take hold of your power and make the most of it. Use your powers. Embrace new experiences, but be aware that Scorpio has some very dark energies which can lead you into an even darker place if you're not careful. Depression, addiction, manipulation, risk-taking, and so on. If you hold on to that expensive energy, because you are valuable. You have to know how valuable you are. And when a person knows how valuable they are and they know their self-worth, then you become too expensive to touch. People can look, but they can't touch. They become window shoppers, peeping at how strong and powerful you are. And allow people to become window shoppers instead of you allowing people to have full access to you. And you know what those access ways are. So Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. This is all about you. My fire sign is ruled by the planet Jupiter, Sagittarius. This is the god of thunder and the sky. So when the moon is in the sky, when the moon is in this sign, this moon is the god of thunder. You may feel the urge to go on an adventure, go exploring, or take a trip somewhere you've never been. A Sagittarius moon is all about taking calculated risks and trying new things. And that's what this energy is all about. This cold super moon, this is the time to change up your habits and create new ones. Learn a new language, start a new hobby, or join a group or a team, some type of sports team. Have fun and enjoy the spirit of adventure that this moon is bringing to you, Sagittarius. So now is the time to break out of your comfort zone and explore the world around you. Capricorn, I just spoke to a Capricorn before I came to this reading. Capricorn is the earth sign, and they're ruled by the planet Saturn. You know, this moon energy is going to bring up dark emotions, big life lessons, that feeling of melancholy. You know, so when the moon is in the sign of Capricorn, it can bring with it a need to excel. Capricorns, they work hard, they set goals, and they know what they want out of life, so they are very disciplined. So the moon in Capricorn is a great motivator for you to pat yourself on the back. because you're very self-driven. You're a high achiever. You know what it is that you want out of life. So when you go out and you speak to the moon tonight, speak to the moon and say thank you. All the moon wants from you is gratitude. Just say thank you. This is the time for you to decide in detail exactly what it is that you want for your life. Set your goals and start making plans to achieve them. Remind yourself how far you have come, Capricorn. Give yourself that pat on the back, that round of applause. Give yourself that standing ovation, because guess what? With this moon energy, the universe is happy with you. So all you have to do is say thank you. Say thank you for all the beautiful things that are coming into your direction, Capricorn. Just say thank you, plain and simple. You know, a lot of times before you meditate, even if you are a religious person, before you pray, you should always say thank you in advance. You should, and especially if you're someone that's always asking for something. If you're always asking, say thank you even before you receive it. Just say thank you in advance. Listen, I'm always asking. I'm always asking for the safety of my children, my grandchildren, my husband, and so on. I'm always asking for something for people that I care about. And guess where I am at? I always put myself last. I'm always last. Let me tell you, I'm always last. I pray for me last. I meditate for me last. I think about me last. And I do want to say that I'm about to put me first, but I can't. I can't, because I'm a mom and I'm a grandma and I'm a wife. But one day I'll get to that point. Let me tell you. And the reason why I don't know how to do that is because I watched my mom do it in an unselfish way for so many people, always putting herself last. And if by chance I tried to ask for something for me, then I go back to her about what I felt like she missed. My mom and dad were separated for decades. They were separated for decades. And I watched this woman. She was a school teacher, elementary school during the day. And at night, she taught English to the foreign born. That means the people that came into this country and couldn't speak English, she taught them how to speak English. And then she would teach the GED program. I had to catch myself. I was about to say what GED means for me. But she taught the GED program, right? And on the weekend, she never had one. And I don't know if y'all remember, because I'm older, but we used to have this store back in the day called Caldor. And on the weekend, she was a manager at Caldor. So when I was young, I'm like, damn, my dad don't pay child support. He out there hoeing around having kids. But my mom is here with me and my sisters. With my sisters and I. Let me use my proper English as an educator's daughter. She was always making sure there was a roof over our head, food was in the refrigerator, and the bills were paid. I would lie to you if I told you that I was one of those people that ever had a light turned off or the gas turned off, because I don't know what that's like. But I know what it's like to watch a mother to work herself to death. I do. So when I was in my later teens, I started spinning the block, and I started just watching how things were done in the neighborhood. Not my neighborhood, but the neighborhoods around me. But I'm not even going to go there. But I wanted to treat my mother can't even describe it. I don't know how many of y'all love or dislike, but I love and dislike my mother. But she meant everything to me. I loved her more than I love myself. Let me just tell you that. And I wanted her to have everything. I bought my mother diamonds. I bought her gold. I bought her furs. I wanted her to have it all because I felt like she deserved it all. And I was a teen doing that. So, knock, knock. Who's there? Me. That's how I worked for my mom. And guess what? She ain't want none of it. How you getting this? Where's this coming from? I work for the government. You want to make me lose? That's what she would say. And I'm like, you deserve it all. Tired of you working. I'm tired of your feet hurting. I'm tired of you being tired. Let me tell you, I can't even explain my mother, because when my mother passed away, the people that came and knocked on her front door were police officers from the town that I grew up in. And they're like, I come to bring you my sympathies. Your mother paid our mortgage. Your mother helped us get out of foreclosure. And I'm like, bitch, she ain't even helped me buy my first car. I bought my first car. All these things that everybody was saying to me. And man, I hated sharing my mom. I hated sharing her. But the bank manager, my mom taught her brother, man, damn sure just about everybody. And people still today reach out to me and they be like, can you give your mom a memorial? We would attend, we would come. Football players, everything. Everybody is like, we would like for you to give your mother a memorial. And I always say one day, but I was selfish. I did not like sharing my mother. Let me tell you, at all. I did not like sharing her. But guess what? I'm glad I did, because she helped so many, and so many will always remember who she is and who she was to them. Where I'm from, the state where I'm from, when the juveniles would get incarcerated, they didn't even have any programs to whereas the juveniles could still get their schoolwork. So my mother fought with the state where I'm from to make sure that there was no child left behind. So she implemented the program to whereas if a juvenile got incarcerated and they had to do time, when they got out of juvenile, they would still be on their right grade. She made sure that no child was left behind. So when a lot of people thought that Bush came in and gave that No Child Left Behind Act, that was already done in the state where I'm from, because no juvenile was allowed to be left behind. My mother started that program. She started rallying up teachers in different areas for them to go to the juvenile jail, give their time, and start teaching them math, English, sciences, to bring homework, schoolwork. And that's what the teachers started doing, so much so that they would even graduate if they spent that much time incarcerated in juvenile. So when I tell you she did these programs, and then when a lot of the adults who were incarcerated, nobody didn't want to hire them. So she had big ties to people. People would come and knock on our front door when they got out of jail for a job, if she can help them to get a job. And that's what she would do. She would say, hey, I would vouch for this person and I vouch for this person. And she always put her name on something for someone. Excuse me, my camera on my end froze. But that's what I call selfless. She did so much for so many people. And parts of the communities that I would go to where I had no business being, and they be like, you such and such daughter. I'm like, yeah. And they be like, give her a pass. I could go in areas where others would dare to go because my mother may have taught this drug dealer. And my mother would say, do not date anybody from such and such town, such and such town. Don't date anybody where I taught them. And I'm like, okay, Ma. And I didn't. And I didn't. I would never. And she'd be like, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. And I didn't do that to her at all. But Virgos, they're like that. Virgos are like that. They give so much to a lot of people. Libras are like that as well. And I know every sign want to be like, well, me too. But let me tell you, it's under the planet where you were born, which makes you the person that you are. Never question yourself about who you are. Everybody is born to be who they are. And if you don't like who you are, we all have the power to change that. I promise you. We all have the power to change that. We are the authors of our own story. I stick by that. My mother taught me that when I was a kid. She said, let's just say if I got a C in the class. And I'm like, Ma, I don't like that I got a C. And she was like, did you work hard enough? Because I will go and talk to the teacher, but don't embarrass me. If I take off from my job to make me come to your school, I need to know that you deserve that B that you're talking about, or even that A. Then I'm like, no, Mama, don't come. Don't talk to the teacher. Don't come to my school because I didn't put in the work. And she would always say, never make me take off from my job to satisfy your ego. You always have to put in the work. So what is it that you desire? If you desire to have it, you have to work for it. Even when we meditate, we have to work for it. And what do I mean by work for it? Because anytime you meditate, everything has to be done with all of your energy. All of your energy to make anything move and to bring anything towards you or push it away from. What do you think root workers do? Root workers know how to work with their energy to cast spells or to remove spells, whatever you want to call them. So it's about, in life, tapping into who you are. And to tap into who you are is to connect right here to the core of you, to the soul of you. And hello to the person, I saw your message, but I just couldn't stop. I run my mouth a lot. I run my mouth a lot. Excuse me, I have to cough. Now, let's talk about Aquarius, right? Now, my mom was an Aquarius. She still is an Aquarius, right? She's crossed over, but this air sign is very flighty. Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus and also Saturn, bringing energies of extreme breakouts from Uranus, along with Saturn's trace of life lessons, right? So when the moon is in Aquarius, some of you Aquarius people might act irrationally without thinking far enough ahead to see what the consequences are of your actions. So we call this the rebellious moon for you Aquariuses, the one which can make people act spontaneously, childishly. You know, a lot of people feel like Aquarius people are in their heads. They always think that Aquarius people are off in la la land. Like if you ever see one like this, you think that they're not here, and you're not. They have this thing to where that they can shift. You ever heard of out of sight is out of mind? Well, for an Aquarius, out of sight is out of body. So you could be in the room with an Aquarius and they can be sitting right there thinking, but energetically, they're off in another realm. They're off in another realm, wholeheartedly. Aquarius people, not just because my mother is an Aquarius, but very intelligent people. Aries is one of our intelligent signs. Scorpio is another one. Capricorn is another. And I'm not throwing shade to anyone, but this is just these people who were born under these signs. That's just who they are. But we're all born under something that we are perfectionists at. And that's a true story, right? That's a true story. So let me just say that and get there. And I'm going to try to make this quick because I have to go outside and be with that energy tonight. But this is a rebellious moon for the sign of Aquarius. Very rebellious. So grab hold of yourselves. It's important to do so. You know, Aquarius is electricity. A lot of people feel like when they see the symbol of the Aquarius that they are a water sign, but that's not so. They are electricity. And what does electricity do? It charges things up. So freedom is going to be your new word. Because when you're off in your own world, daydreaming, that's freedom. So freedom, this word for you, 2025, ending it, going into 2026, that's going to be your new mantra. So embrace your liberty and have fun. If someone says to an Aquarius, you have a big imagination, you don't have no imagination. You're off in another realm. So make your wildest visions your reality. Take a flying lesson, go on a speedboat ride, learn to ride a motorcycle, give your rebellious spirit a safe control outlet. And, you know, today I went to the doctor, right? I went to the doctor, and in the summer, I was supposed to have my laser surgery, look, to get my scar removed. And so I went today. So she was like, you were supposed to come 3 months ago for the appointment for this month, right? So I'm like, wait a minute, look, I had it backwards. And she was like, you still want to go with the scar removal? I said, yes. And so when I tell you, Aquarius, to do something adventurous, don't be like me. I have that wild streak. So I'm getting my scar removed from my motorcycle accident. She was like, can I get one more picture? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, don't you have enough pictures? She was like, when I look at you, and I'm like, what? And she was like, I could see. And then she was like, go further. So my head was actually peeled from here, from my eyebrow, all the way to back here. All my skin was peeled back. I riding without a helmet, right? In the rain speeding. And I'm like, listen, I want to do this. And all I could think about is like, I'm never going to do that again. And she was like, you've learned your lesson. I said, you ask me that all the time. And I was like, not really. Not really, because that's my outlet. You know, it's my outlet to ride. And one of my relatives asked me, she was like, when are you going to stop? And I'm like, I don't think ever. And I saw a lady on YouTube, and she was like 80 years old on a motorcycle, and I thought she looked so cute. And she ain't go fast, you know, but she could still hold it up, and she rolled to the corner and back, And I'm like, that's me. That's me. But I'm about to fix this. You know what I mean? I'm about to fix this. The one lesson that I learned is to always wear a helmet. Always wear your protective gear. And I stopped wearing my protective gear. I gave it to my daughter. And she was like, Ma. And I'm like, I'm too cute to be wearing that stuff. But then I'm like, I want my protective gear back. I should not have given her all my stuff. But I'm going to do the right thing. But Aquarius, have fun. Have fun. Forget what people say, how you're always off in la la land. Take a motorcycle class, learn to ride. If you want to learn to ride, come see me. Come and see me. I'll teach you how to do it right. But, this is the time for breakouts, breakthroughs, and sometimes breakdowns, let me just tell you. So you might suddenly realize you hate your job and want to leave, or that your relationship is over. So when the need to break out takes hold, make sure that you do a risk assessment. Check your facts before you act on impulse. Aquarius energy is very dynamic and it's a very strong force. So try to keep level-headed. Now, my Pisces people, you know what? This is my cousin. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpios, right? We're all cousins, but this is a water-loving sign. I know people have a love-hate for Pisces, but this is a water-loving sign. Pisces is ruled by the planet Neptune. This is the god of the sea, where I come from. I'm a Cancer, I'm a crab, right? Scorpios, right? They are what? The scorpions? But we are all water signs. This is still waters that run deep. So when the moon is in the sign of Pisces, you're more likely to be ruled by your emotions rather than ruled by logic. So practice your common sense. Growing up, I would listen to my grandfather. He would never curse. My grandfather never cursed. Never said a mean word. Well, he did curse. I just told y'all a lie. But he didn't consider it a curse. When he would see his children argue, meaning like my aunts and my uncles, like when we come together, and when each family, somebody is always going to start something. And when the arguments didn't make sense to him, he would say, God damn it, sometimes you got to have some goddamn common sense. And I would look at him and be like, ooh, daddy. Because we didn't call my grandfather daddy. His children, my mother and them called him daddy. And we called him daddy. So that was short for us calling him daddy. And I'd be like, ooh, daddy, you said a curse. And he'd be like, that ain't no curse. That's the truth. He was like, my kids have no common sense. I don't care how educated they are. You have to have some good goddamn common sense. So Pisces, you have to rely on your common sense. Practice it. A Pisces moon can be a flat calm or a tsunami or a combination of the two. So the little things might trigger a storm of emotions during this time. And your empathetic abilities may be heightened, meaning that you pick up on other people's emotions as well as your own. And it can be difficult to draw the line between the two. So just practice common sense, where to get involved versus when not to get involved. So use all that emotional energy by channeling it into a creative endeavor such as painting, journaling, something like that. So strengthen your boundaries with people. All that empathy can have a negative impact on your own well-being. So practice boundaries. It's important to do so. Practice your boundaries by saying no. By saying no. My daughter, she's a Capricorn. And she's been practicing her boundaries with me by saying no. By saying no, right? And I'm like, huh? You're saying no to me? And she says no to me very well. But my husband doesn't think so. he think that she's always saying yes to me. And tonight, I had to confess something to him. And he was like, I'm glad you told me that. So when my daughter came to the kitchen, I said, hey, I spoke about it. She was like, oh my God, you told? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, from now on, I don't want her coming to you. Send her straight to me, so I'll say no. And I'm looking at him and like, she's always tells me no. She always tells me no. I always, listen, I'm the rebellious one. I'm the one that likes to get into mischievous things. And I try to coerce people to come along with me and join the ride. And my daughter never wants to, right? So I'm like, how much you love me? And she's like, I love you, Mom. I'm like, would you kill for me? Would you steal for me? And she's like, no. I'm like, well, then that's not love. Because I would do those things for you, right? But I could never make her change who she is. But she has boundaries with me. She's like, no, Mom, I'm not getting involved with your mess. That's what she always tell me. And then my husband be like, you. And yes, me. Me. But listen, get out there tonight. Do your moon rituals. If you have a mason jar, if you have a jar or any top with a lid, put your water in it, the ebb and flow of the energy. Hold on to it. Speak your peace over it. Speak life into the water, because water is the ebb and flow. What goes out has to come in, and what comes in has to go out. Speak to the moon. It doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. Set your intentions. It's so important to do so. Set your intentions and use your energy to make everything come to fruition, to bring it to your reality. Is so important to do so. So closure. This moon is all about closure. Letting go of the past. Letting go of past situations, past pain, past hurt, past people. Letting go. Reflections on what you need to let go of. You may think about it one more time and be like, damn, I could have did it like this and I could have did it like that. But we can't change the past. No matter how you may want to, you cannot change the past. And that's what's going to bring in the mental clarity of where you want to be. Where you need to be and where you want to be are the same. Because where you want to be is where you need to be. And where you need to be is where you want to be. So speak your intentions to the moon. Use your energy. No lies to be told. Because everything is based off energy. And when everything is based off energy, the universe knows when you're telling the truth and when you're being dishonest. And you can't be dishonest to the Creator. You may call your Creator something else and I call mine something else. But it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. Use your moon energy. We're coming into 2026. Most of you, as I said earlier in the reading, you're going to wait till New Year's to set these New Year's resolutions. And then half of you don't even follow them. Half of you don't even follow them. I don't even do New Year's resolutions. I never followed one at all. Some people do and some people don't. But this is different. This is bigger than that. Because you're doing it at the close of the last cycle of this supermoon. And it's a cold supermoon. But I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. And I send to you nothing but love and light. But follow me on my journey. In 3 months, I'm about to have the removal of my scar. And I'm excited about it. At first, I was going to wear it, like those people that get shot, like a badge of honor, right? Huh? Yeah, like my husband, he got shot before with a shotgun when we were teenagers. We were teenagers, right? Yeah. And he got shot. These guys tried to rob him. for his car and for his jewelry. And he's here. He made it. You know what I mean? But he was shot before. But I was going to wear my scar. But I'm so tired of wearing, look, my hair over my scar not showing. I want to wear my whole head. I love my head, but I hate my scar. And this right here, I had an earring in my eyebrow, and my Aunt Cat whooped my ass. I walked into my aunt's house, and she didn't tell me she had a cat. And I was like, what in the fuck are you doing with this cat? And she was like, what? And the cat understood me. And the cat was like, yeah. And it jumped right on my face. And I'm pulling it off. Everybody's laughing. And I'm like, oh my God. And the cat ripped my earring out of my eye. I went in the bathroom. And my aunt was trying to help the bleeding. And I came back out. I was like, where the fuck is the cat? I'm about to get that cat. And she was like, please don't kill my cat. So I was like, and I left. The next day, I came back over in the morning. And she said, what are you doing here? I said, I came to get your cat. I never lost the fight. She was like, well, you lost that one. We knew you was coming back, and I got rid of the cat. And I searched my aunt's house from the upstairs to the downstairs to the backyard. And she did. She got rid of that cat. She said, after I saw that cat whoop your ass, she said, I got scared. She said, I got scared. But, and guess what? I do want a cat. But my husband said, no more pets. I want a cat. I'm not going to tell you what kind I want, because you be like, ew. But I do. I want a cat. Maybe if I keep talking to him, I don't know. But he said no more pets. And most of you know how many dogs I caught. So, you know, the cat lady got all the cats. I got all the dogs. Listen, I'm an animal lover. I had everything. Rabbits. I had iguanas. Hamsters. I'll never do hamsters in my life again. They breed too much. I had guinea pigs. Just about every kind of dog under the sun. I had a ferret. I had a chinchilla. I had it. I had it all. I'm an animal lover. I love animals. I never had a snake. I never wanted a snake. But I had just about everything. And then my grandparents had farms, so I was raised up around everything. But I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. I'm about to put on my house coat, go outside, and use the energy of the moon. Say thank you in advance. In advance. And you don't have to go outside. You can open your window and just speak to the sky. Even if you don't see the moon from where you are, just speak. Because everything is energy-based. Everything is energy-based. But I'm going to do it early tonight, because I want to get back in my bed and I want to watch the little Diddy thing on Netflix. You know what I mean? I want to watch the little Diddy thing on Netflix. You know, I've been hearing a lot about it, because 50 is so petty. So I want to watch it. I am Empress Real One, the Good Witch. I thank you all for your time. I'm not sure if I'll be back tomorrow or not. I may take a day off. I need some rest. And I'm about to take a trip soon, you know, to see my oldest son. So I'm dreading that trip. So, but things have to be done, you know. But I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. I send to you nothing but love and light. Good night. Thank you for your time. This video will be posted on my YouTube platform. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the new follows. Thank you.